Louis Vuitton is a name synonymous with luxury. The brand has become a symbol of elegance, sophistication, and high fashion, attracting a loyal following of discerning customers who appreciate the finer things in life. The brand, established in 1854, has a rich history of craftsmanship and exclusivity. From its humble beginnings as a trunk maker, Louis Vuitton has grown into a global powerhouse, setting the standard for luxury goods. Its iconic handbags, luggage, and accessories are coveted worldwide. Each piece is meticulously crafted, embodying the brand's commitment to quality and attention to detail. However, Louis Vuitton's legacy faces a growing threat: counterfeiting. The proliferation of fake products not only tarnishes the brand's image but also deceives consumers who believe they are purchasing genuine luxury items. The rise of fake luxury goods, especially from China, has reached alarming proportions. These counterfeit products flood the market, making it increasingly difficult for consumers to distinguish between authentic and fake items. This illicit industry undermines the brand's integrity and cheats consumers. People who spend their hard-earned money on what they believe to be genuine Louis Vuitton products are often left disappointed and disillusioned when they discover they have been duped. Counterfeiting is not a victimless crime. It affects real people, from the consumers who are tricked into buying fake goods, to the employees whose jobs are threatened by the loss of revenue, to counterfeiters. It impacts not only the brand's reputation, but also the livelihoods of its employees. The artisans and workers who pour their skill and passion into creating genuine Louis Vuitton products are directly affected by the counterfeit market. It also poses serious risks to consumers who may unknowingly purchase dangerous counterfeit products. These fake items often lack the quality and safety standards of genuine products, leading to potential health and safety hazards. The fight against counterfeiting is a fight for authenticity, consumer protection, and the future of the luxury industry. Louis Vuitton has implemented various measures to combat this issue, including legal actions, awareness campaigns, and advanced authentication technologies. Louis Vuitton has been particularly vulnerable to counterfeiting due to its global popularity. The brand's widespread recognition and desirability make it a prime target for counterfeiters looking to exploit its success. The brand's distinctive designs and logos are instantly recognizable and highly sought after. This makes them attractive targets for counterfeiters who aim to replicate the brand's allure and sell fake products at a fraction of the price. This makes them prime targets for counterfeiters looking to capitalize on the brand's desirability. The counterfeit industry is highly organized, with sophisticated operations that can produce convincing replicas of Louis Vuitton products. The scale of the problem is staggering. Authorities around the world are constantly seizing large quantities of counterfeit goods, but the sheer volume of fake products in circulation makes it a daunting challenge to eradicate. Millions of counterfeit Louis Vuitton products are produced and sold each year, resulting in significant financial losses for the company and damage to its brand image. The fight against counterfeiting is ongoing, and it requires the combined efforts of law enforcement, the brand, and consumers to protect the integrity of Louis Vuitton and ensure that the legacy of luxury and craftsmanship endures. The epicenter of this counterfeit crisis lies in China. Cities like Guangzhou, Yiwu, and Shenzhen have become notorious for their sprawling factories and markets dedicated to producing and distributing fake goods. These cities operate as intricate networks of manufacturers, suppliers, and distributors. Their operations are often clandestine, hidden in plain sight within bustling urban landscapes. These factories operate with alarming efficiency, churning out near-perfect replicas of Louis Vuitton products. They utilize cheaper materials, often sourced without regard for ethical or environmental standards. The production process often involves hazardous chemicals and dyes, posing health risks to both workers and unsuspecting consumers. Guangzhou, for instance, is home to a massive network of underground factories and workshops. These spaces are often poorly lit, poorly ventilated, and lack basic safety measures. Workers, many of whom are migrants seeking employment, endure long hours and harsh conditions for minimal pay. Their exploitation is a hidden cost of the counterfeit trade. In 2024, Louis Vuitton took a stand against the rampant counterfeiting of its products. The luxury fashion house, known for its iconic monogram and high-quality craftsmanship, had long been a target for counterfeiters. These fake products not only tarnished the brand's reputation but also deceived consumers into purchasing substandard goods. The issue had reached a tipping point, and Louis Vuitton decided it was time to take decisive action. The luxury giant filed a landmark lawsuit in a U.S. federal court. This legal move was unprecedented in its scope and ambition, aiming to dismantle an entire network of counterfeit operations. The case was meticulously prepared, with a team of top-notch lawyers and investigators working tirelessly to gather evidence and build a compelling argument. The lawsuit targeted a network of Chinese manufacturers, distributors, and online platforms involved in the production and sale of counterfeit Louis Vuitton goods. These counterfeit operations were sophisticated and widespread, making it a daunting task to trace the origins and distribution channels of the fake products. The legal team had to navigate through a maze of shell companies and hidden factories to uncover the truth. The lawsuit accused the defendants of trademark infringement, counterfeiting, and unfair competition. These charges were not just about protecting the brand's image, they were about upholding the principles of fair trade and consumer rights. The legal documents detailed the extent of the counterfeiting operations, including the methods used to replicate the brand's products and the channels through which they were sold. It alleged that the defendants were knowingly and intentionally profiting from the illegal use of Louis Vuitton's trademarks. The counterfeiters were making millions of dollars by exploiting the brand's hard-earned reputation. This illicit trade not only harmed Louis Vuitton, but also posed a significant risk to consumers who were often unaware that they were purchasing fake products. The lawsuit sought substantial financial damages and a permanent injunction to halt the production and distribution of the counterfeit goods. The financial damages were intended to compensate for the losses incurred by the brand and to serve as a deterrent to other potential counterfeiters. The permanent injunction aimed to put an end to the illegal activities and prevent future violations. This lawsuit marked a significant escalation in Louis Vuitton's efforts to combat counterfeiting. The brand had previously taken legal action against individual counterfeiters, but this case was different. It was a comprehensive strategy to address the root of the problem and send a clear message to the counterfeit industry. It sent a strong message to counterfeiters that the brand is willing to pursue all legal avenues to protect its intellectual property and its consumers. The legal team was prepared for a long and challenging battle, knowing that the outcome could have far-reaching implications for the entire luxury industry. The lawsuit was widely seen as a test case for the luxury industry. Industry experts and legal analysts closely followed the proceedings, recognizing that the case could set a new standard for how luxury brands protect their intellectual property. The media coverage was extensive, with many outlets highlighting the potential impact of the lawsuit on global counterfeiting practices. Its outcome could set a precedent for future legal action against counterfeiters operating both domestically and internationally. If successful, the lawsuit would not only benefit Louis Vuitton but also pave the way for other luxury brands to take similar action. It was a pivotal moment in the ongoing battle against counterfeiting, with the potential to reshape the landscape of intellectual property protection in the fashion industry. Counterfeit factories operate with a level of sophistication that belies their illicit nature. These operations are often hidden in plain sight, blending seamlessly into the fabric of legitimate businesses. The counterfeit industry has evolved over the years, becoming more adept at evading law enforcement and regulatory scrutiny. They employ skilled artisans who meticulously study and replicate the designs of genuine Louis Vuitton products. These artisans are often trained in the art of luxury craftsmanship, making it difficult for the untrained eye to distinguish between real and fake. The attention to detail is astonishing, with every stitch and seam carefully crafted to mirror the original. These artisans are adept at mimicking the stitching, hardware, and even the scent of authentic Louis Vuitton goods. The counterfeiters go to great lengths to ensure that their products look and feel as close to the real thing as possible. This includes replicating the unique stitching patterns and using similar hardware to that of the genuine products. The materials used in these counterfeit products, however, are a far cry from the high-quality materials used by Louis Vuitton. Genuine Louis Vuitton products are made from the finest leathers and materials, carefully selected for their durability and aesthetic appeal. In contrast, counterfeit products often use substandard materials that do not hold up to the same level of scrutiny. Counterfeiters often substitute genuine leather with synthetic leather or PVC. These materials are cheaper and easier to source, but they lack the quality and longevity of genuine leather. Over time, these inferior materials can degrade, leading to a product that looks worn and damaged much more quickly than an authentic item. They utilize cheap metals for hardware and often forgo the quality control measures that are standard in legitimate luxury manufacturing. This can result in hardware that tarnishes or breaks easily, further diminishing the overall quality of the counterfeit product. The lack of quality control also means that there can be significant variations in the final products, with some items being more convincing than others. The use of toxic materials is a particularly concerning aspect of counterfeit production. These materials are not only harmful to the environment but also pose significant health risks to both the workers who handle them and the consumers who purchase the final products. Counterfeiters frequently use paints, dyes, and glues that contain high levels of lead, cadmium, and other harmful substances. These chemicals can be absorbed through the skin or inhaled, leading to a range of health issues, including respiratory problems, skin irritation, and even long-term illnesses, such as cancer. These substances can leach into the skin of consumers, potentially causing a range of health problems. The presence of these toxic materials is often not disclosed, leaving consumers unaware of the risks they are taking by purchasing counterfeit goods. The counterfeit trade thrives on secrecy and exploitation. These operations are often hidden away in remote locations or behind the facade of legitimate businesses, making it difficult for authorities to track and shut them down. Workers in these factories are often subject to inhumane working conditions, low wages, and long hours. They may be forced to work in unsafe environments with little regard for their health and safety. The exploitation of these workers is a key component of the counterfeit industry, allowing it to produce goods at a fraction of the cost of legitimate manufacturers. They are often denied basic labor rights and face retribution if they speak out against their employers. This can include threats, physical violence, and even imprisonment. The lack of legal protections for these workers means that they have little recourse to improve their situation, perpetuating a cycle of exploitation and abuse.